Los amantes del terror pegamos un brinquito de alegría durante el pasado Summer Game Fest cuando se presentó el primer tráiler de Ill, una aventura de terror en la que el gore, los gráficos realistas y un uso muy intensivo de la física se dieron la mano. No quisimos desaprovechar la oportunidad de hablar con Max Verehin, cofundador de Team Klout, el estudio responsable del juego, para que nos dé algunas pistas sobre uno de los más firmes candidatos a próximo rey de nuestras pesadillas. Esto es lo que nos contó.
So first, I'd like to ask you about the setting, because in the trailer we don't know much about the story. Can you tell us some glimpses about the story or the main character?
Yeah, I can't probably share a lot of story of main character, but it's gonna be a lot of personal story with him. It's many of a bit of even family story.
All right.
He will have like a motivational, like family motivation in the game, but in terms of like the world, the setting is set in Eastern Bloc. So if you remember like Half-Life 2. When you don't actually know where is it, it's more like just Eastern Bloc somewhere there. So we set it there just because it's more grim, and we wanted to bring more of a brutalist style, because like, again, I'm not gonna say where the game's happening exactly, but it's like a big facility, kind of isolated from everywhere. And yeah, this facility is gonna be like huge, you know. It's have a lot of brutalist elements, and we are trying to mix it with sci-fi elements.
Okay.
So it's not like we are trying to aim for a realistic feeling from the game and from the experience of the world, but at the same time we want to make a possibility of bring out really cool ideas, and in order to do that we have to like bit go to alternative history, and that's why we are bringing like some epic stuff, like sci-fi elements to it, which I think players gonna be dig.
Nice. Awesome. One of the things we get from the trailer is that the enemies are so unpredictable in terms of how they move. Is that a key element of the game, like having to understand how the enemies behave?
Yes, so enemies, so unpredictability of the enemies would be more done by how they behave, how they react on the traumas that they get, or how they react on the world around them. So they could, like, we're trying to make them feel like they are really physics-based movement, even though we are not aiming for many procedural elements in the animations, because it creates a lot of bugs and unpredictable stuff in the game. And so yeah, when you shoot the enemies like arm or something like this, we are trying to supply it not only by a cool impact that enemy is gonna play, but also he can like react that, yeah, I lost my arm, or he shoot an enemy, probably he could look at his friend, stuff like this. And also there's gonna be a storytelling element for the enemies. They are not regular zombies, like they're not just like they want to kill everyone. We want to make them behave a bit of like, you know, randomly. So they you will see stuff in the world that they showcase their nature like maniacs, and they can do really gruesome stuff to the people that they kill or that they not kill, and leave in the world to suffer, stuff like this. And so yeah, there's gonna be many of enemies like this, and just for the sake, you know, the conceptual interest, the players when they play, they're gonna be eager to explore the nature of the enemies and the monsters.
By seeing the trailer, we get several references to games like Dead Space or something like that, which is you say it's the key elements that differentiate your game from other shooter or action classics.
I would say that the difference is that we are really pushing two main themes in our game, as survival horror theme and brutal action with action sequences when you shoot the enemy, when it's fun to shoot enemies, and whereas there's some areas is just about survival. You're just gonna listen to a cool music and shoot enemies. So it's a weird mix in a way. That's why I think this is something that differentiates us from other projects. And at the same time, we want to have a really cool feelings for the shooting systems, but also we want to make this game a really scary experience. So the experience that player gonna have outside of the shooting, it is just exploration, just the feeling how the world works, how the sound works. We want to create a really gruesome experience, really terrifying, so you would feel uncomfortable and you would see stuff in the world that you're gonna remember just for how gruesome look and the concept of. Which brings us to the second part that I think gonna be unique about EEL, is just our personal vision. We are founders, are really big fans of horror, and we are not really trying to copy anyone. We are getting inspired by the experience that game developers had. For example, Resident Evil, they have a really cool level design. They have a really cool inventory management system. We are trying to get inspiration from there. But in terms of like creative ideas, we want to try to make our own ideas and not copy anyone. And you want to make these ideas so they not like I call it like, you know, the levels of ideas. So you have like first idea is like you see a dead body on the floor, and we then think like, how can we make it more interesting? Like maybe this dead body within some sort of situation. Then you see and you remember, and then we think like, okay, what else we can do, like third level, and we kind of bring it up, and it's kind of to the degree that people are gonna remember, oh, or you remember this is from EEL, this concept in, that's cool. And yeah, I don't want to sound too, you know, snobby in a way. Not everything is gonna be that cool, because like it's really hard to implement all of these ideas, because game development requires you not only, you cannot make everything cinematic, you cannot make like a movie, because you have to actually make it a game, so make the player experience fun, and you always have to find the balance, which is hard.
We talk about the scary and gory elements of the game, but also in the trailer at the end we saw like a dark humor moment when the character is kicking the monster baby. So are we gonna find some dark humor here, or it was just for the trailer?
Yeah, of course, it's like our signature probably. I would say that we always want to add a bit of you know, small element that is gonna be stand out of everything. So you see a gruesome trailer, but at the end something that people are gonna remember a lot. And actually the reaction on the summer Olympics from this particular moment at the end, it tells us that people loved it a lot. So again, this is gonna be a good thing to balance really carefully. So we want to make the game scary, but at the same time make some moments be remembered maybe with the humor side of it. So we'll see. But this guy from the trailer, the last one, the comments are blowing up just about it, and we probably need to think how to bring more of that. And I think it's not only, this moment was not only popular because of the humorous element, but interactive. You see you just kick it and it flies and breaks something. So I think people are waiting from you this kind of experiences. Play with physics a bit and stuff like that.
So is it gonna be different ways to approach the level in terms of using, you know, the physics or the elements in the stage to advance, or is it a more linear game?
Probably the best example would be Resident Evil 2 remake. When you see like a big hub area and then you go there and explore and go back. In EEL it's gonna be a bit different, maybe a bit more linear and less backtracking than Resident Evil, even though like I love backtracking in Resident Evil remake, Su remake. It's one of my favorite games. So yeah, main experience is that you find another area, and you go there and you find yourself with like a main quest, for example, and some sort of big hub area, and then you go to different places in that level, more like a linear experiences, when you try to solve this main quest, and then you find a way out and go to another location, which works kind of like similar ways, and between these hub areas, there's gonna be like linear experiences when you just go to that. So.
And in terms of gameplay, we saw like a lot of action, but your referencing games like Resident Evil, do we get to solve many puzzles, any time of puzzles in the game?
Yeah, there are many puzzles. Yeah. In Resident Evil, they allow themselves to play with puzzles more like a freedom, less realistic, more like a museum type of puzzle. We are trying to lean more into like technological sci-fi puzzle system, but yeah, you have to solve puzzles sometimes to advance in levels, and some of them are connected with the changing the level a bit. Like for example, there is like a flooded area, you have to like activate or like fix a pump and clean up this area, so this area cleans up, and then you actually go there and explore a new area which were previously flooded.
Can you tell us about the technology behind the game? I mean, what's the engine? Do you have a proprietary engine, or do you use?
Also, it's Unreal Engine 5. Unreal Engine, yeah. I think right now we are trying to update Unreal Engine with when the new version comes out, we update the game for the new version. I think there's gonna be a moment when we have to lock in, and I think I might lie. We're gonna be using some sort of like a NVIDIA version of Unreal Engine 5, but I'm not like a technological guy, but like our programmers details better.
All right. In the trailer, we saw some moments with that baby. When you use like a snowy cam effect, like the camera is, are we gonna see that in the game in some way?
Yes. We were debating, should we do this game wholly just from a first person view, and then we decided that main cutscenes, main experience gonna be first person, but when you see moments like a new enemy appears or something really interesting happening in a level, we're gonna try to use a virtual camera in that moment, because this allows us to bring up these cinematic moments like snorri cam effect, or in the trailer you saw this guy who comes out from the small vent and hears all breaking. You cannot show this from a first person, unless you kind of like face of the player in that. It's just how some action scenes.
Yeah. And because of the dismembering is so important, can you tell us about the weapons we get to use in the game?
Yes, it's gonna be. I'm not gonna tell you the number of weapons, but there's just gonna be a variety of weapons, different ones, like a regular pistol, then revolver, shotgun, SMG, auto rifle, a whole stack of weapons that you can expect. They're not gonna be like a huge arsenal, yeah, and but we are trying to bring a system of like updates to your weapon. So you're gonna find attachments, you can attach new stuff on your weapons, and also upgrade it with resources that you find on the wall.
And finally, about the monsters, can you tell us about the process of designing the monster? Are there any monsters that you didn't include because, I don't know, they were so weird, or the sky was the limit?
Yeah, there are moments where we want to make a monster in the game, and it's based on the design that we drew or we saw somewhere, and we want to bring something like this in the game. But then when you test it on the playground, it doesn't actually work in the gameplay. So it's always a process of sometimes you just need a you just need for a gameplay wise some sort of like a, for example, small monster, and then you have a prototype for a small monster without any visuals. It's just like it can be like a square that attacks you, and then you try to design on top of that. And sometimes it's other way around. You have a full drawing, and then you try to think how it's gonna work in the gameplay. So yeah.
And just to finish, what did you feel when presenting the trailer in an event at the Summer Game Fest? I suppose you started in your studio, and now millions of people are watching your trailer. What do you feel when that happens?
It was a worrying experience. I think I would enjoy this experience more if I was a guy who was not so involved into preparing all this stuff, because I was like last moment editing stuff, and it was so stressful before the event. I think I feel relief after the release. There is no more tension about that. I was so worried that something goes wrong, or we send like a wrong file or something like that. So, but it was exciting. I love the moment. I think this is historical moment in my personal life and in the life of our studio. For the game is super important, and I think now people are gonna see that the game is not fake. We are really dedicated to actually make this game. We signed up with Mundfish, and like there is no way back. We have to finish it. And this moment for the trailer, I think this is like a start of like the changing people's minds.
Yeah, awesome.
Il llegará a PS5, Xbox Series X y S y PC en una fecha aún sin confirmar. Estaremos preparados para una experiencia monstruosa.